of what's your creator mindset, right? And first of all, I want to welcome you guys to the be.live show today. And we want to know, where are you watching from? Where are you from? Where are you at, Joseph?
I'm in sunny San Diego.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Look who we have here. I'm in Puerto Rico, by the way, first of all. But I know there's somebody at the other end of the world who's called Kevin Michael Reed, asking, who is this Joseph Clough guy? Oh, you should know.
I
You
hope
should know.
so.
All right. And let us give us a little bit of a get to know our guest, Joseph. If you can take the floor and tell us a little about yourself, because I got like 20 stuff to say about you, so might as well you sum it up better for yourself.
Okay, so predominantly I am a hypnotherapist and coach, and I help usually entrepreneurs and business people to be able to unlock their potential, to be able to achieve the results they want. Usually letting go of things like imposter syndrome, which, as you know, as a creator, a lot of people can have. But ultimately, I got into this because I used to experience the exact same thing. I used to experience worries, doubts, anxieties, and fears. And ultimately, I began to learn how the mind worked. And then I was like, I actually love doing this. And that was like 19, 20 years ago.
Wow, time runs fast.
Yes.
That's pretty cool. And what I love is that all of this anxiety and all this stuff that you get it when you're starting to do your live streams, right? Before
Absolutely.
being on camera and all that stuff. So we got more people coming in. We got hello from Belgium.
Hey,
Chris, thank
Chris.
you very much for being here. Hey, Olena. Olena, it's my boss on
Oh,
Be Live. Uh,
I better be good then.
I know, right? I'm behaving. I'm behaving. So we got Sammy Superstar. He's in Jersey, I believe,
Hey,
right here in
Sammy.
America. All right. And now that we know what Joseph actually does for a living, because he's been a content creator for more than 20 years. So he does this for a living. He has a podcast with over 500 episodes, if I'm not
We are
mistaken.
going to be at episode 600 in 2 episodes' time.
Oh my God. I missed it by three. I,
600. Yeah,
I missed it by
close.
three. Oh my God. Yeah. Look at Olena. Oh my God. I'm not. Nah, I'm just joking.
That's what all bosses say.
I know, right? I'm humble. No, not me. We got Chris again. Oh, we got Jason from Alberta, Canada. We got a pretty good crowd from around the world. Where are
Fantastic.
you originally from, Joseph?
I am from England in Cambridge. I was there for, I don't know, most of my life. I moved around a few times, but I came to America around 7 years ago, I think. Yeah, but
That's pretty
I
cool.
love being here.
Yeah, I love America as well. Absolutely. Sorry. All right, we got Anne Siri. Nice. Patricia, welcome to the show as well. All right, Joseph. And what sparked your interest, like in this creator mindset thing we call, right?
Sure. So originally, I was just a hypnotherapist working with my clients, and then right near the beginning of the podcast, probably like a year into the creation of a podcast of the industry, I just wanted to be able to speak my words, and I found it kind of pretty easy to do behind no camera or anything like that. So I spent a ton of time just kind of getting my craft of going either live on audio or podcast recordings, and the podcast is like 10 million downloads now. And then I
Wow.
transitioned to getting onto video because I've been on YouTube a lot for quite a long time, but I only really got into live about, I think, when Facebook first started their live. That was like when I first got into it, then took a break. But I just felt like it was a perfect way of communicating with people across the world. I mean, it's amazing that you can connect with people and serve them and help them and even increase your own business while serving. So that's how I really got into it. I wanted to expand my reach and expand my depth in trying to help as many people as possible.
That's amazing. And as a content creator yourself as well, I guess you already had that part of the creator mindset, you know, grabbed by what you have it
Mhm.
already. So
Yeah.
might as well just share that with the world and while doing your business because it is part of your business as well.
Oh, 100%. It's my lead. Where it be going live or going on. I mean, I take my live streams and then put them onto my podcast. So it's like a live recording of a podcast, and then we edit it in post production and put it up there. And then if people like my work, they can download my mobile app or they can apply to work with me. So going live or just being an online creator is really the bloodline of my business.
Wow, you heard that, guys? We can do live streaming for our businesses, for our brand, personal branding, or anything, but he has it as the center of his business. This can be done. So whatever you learn here on this shows, whichever show you view mine, you view any of the other of our hosts here on Be Live. This can be a very good thing to help you out in your business, on your personal branding, or whatever you're sharing out there in the world, right?
Absolutely. It's an inside look to who you are and your business. So ultimately, you're giving people a preview or a taster or a rapport builder. So you don't have to sell to them. Like, because you can have like funnels, you can have copy and things like that, websites. But going live allows you to build an emotional connection and a psychological connection with your business or your future business. They're literally getting to know who you are as a person. And although a lot of people stream, there's not many businesses, where it be local or national, who like, I don't know what the percentage would be, but it's a very small percentage of actually people doing this. So you getting out there in front of everyone will really allow you to establish that rapport and then build a business should you desire.
And if you can tell, Be Live is doing a great job putting us on the center stage by talking about live streaming, like we're doing
Yeah.
right now, and trying to learn how to use Be Live for different forms.
Yeah.
So this is really cool, and it's nowadays being creator, being a influencer, right? It's well known. It's not like 5 years ago. Now, obviously, we got a little bit of help from Voldemort. I'm not going to call it what
Mm-hmm.
it is. This past 2 years, but it got us on the map, right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a little bit more. Let's put it. It's a little bit more broad. Now everybody knows what's a content creator and what's a live streamer. Like back in the days, nobody knew what it was, and it was pretty hard to get into that.
Yeah, and now like be live software like is so easy to do. Like you don't need the old school technical equipment. It is just you can do this anywhere that you want ultimately. And it's not
Exactly.
there's no easier time to become a content creator in any endeavor that you're going through.
I'm right now in Puerto Rico with the mobile setup, and this I have a camera, a microphone, my interface, and my trusty Netgear internet, which is a Wi-Fi, which I do not recommend. But if you are on you're on the road, and that's what you have, use what you have, and keep on going.
Yeah,
All
absolutely.
right. So how many years have you been working with this creator mindset? Has it been from the beginning?
Um I would probably say that I was doing hypnosis and coaching one to one or in group and event levels. And then I decided to record some of my events. And then I put it onto YouTube. So I don't know how many years that would be, but I would say I was learning my craft as working with people. But then I transitioned into uploading, creating content, and then going live. I'm not very good with timelines, so to
Oh,
speak,
that's
but
fun.
it's been a long time ultimately. But like, if you're passionate about something, you just make it consistent. You make it a part of who you are. That you just show up every day for it.
Yeah, and if you guys didn't know, Joseph does his podcast live on YouTube, so you can go to his channels. I'll put the information on his channels during the final part of this interview, and he does it right there live. So you can learn how to do a live podcast, and you can use the Be Live software as well, whatever software you want. But Be Live right now, I'm using how do you call it? The agenda is the let me see here. I'm using the on-screen agenda right now to go with to my points and read what I'm doing, so I can stay focused on what I'm doing. You can do exactly the same thing for a podcast, for a live stream, even for video, for recording video. So it's the same thing, and you can do it all while you're live, which is pretty impressive, especially with the engagement portion. What do you do with the engagement portion? Do you stop the engagement for a while, go to the podcast, and
Yeah,
you
I
know?
probably have about a 10 to 15-minute get together with those who are joining the stream. We get to chat, we get to talk, and just kind of reconnect and build that rapport. Then, for me personally, I tell them what's going to happen. Look, we're going to do the live broadcast or the live podcast recording now. I won't be actually looking at the chat or anything like that. But then
Yeah.
afterwards, then once we've finished the recording of the podcast, we have another 10, 15 minutes plus, unless it could be more if people have questions, to then build that rapport again. So for me, it's a great way of multitasking. I like to do less, but be able to create more because of it. And I feel like just recording a live podcast is really awesome. And that means it makes people feel, I like to think they feel like a part of the show as well. Like
Yeah.
they're part of the audience observing a recording happening.
They're witnessing a podcast live. Not many people do that. I started doing with Sai, as you remember,
Mm-hmm.
doing a podcast live, and for me, with my ADHD going on like hard, I couldn't stay away from looking at the comments. So you
Yeah.
need to have a lot of discipline, and I admire you for having that discipline, because I can't do it. I'm not gonna lie. I need. I'm gonna look.
I think for me is because I've been doing the podcasting first. I got used to just recording without observing anything else. I was just in my own mind and just speaking. So I think I learned that part of ignoring things, because that's how I've always done my podcast, because there never was an audience there. So when I went to live streaming, I just try to carry that over.
All right, that's amazing, man. All right, yeah. Look who we have over here. We got no name. That's fine. What's going on? And we also have
Andy.
we have Andy. All right. That stream looking great. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. All right. So how important is it to master your creator mindset?
If you don't master it, it will master you ultimately.
Ah,
Like most people are run by their fears, they're run by their anxieties, they're run by their doubts, their imposter syndrome, all that kind of stuff. And before you know it, you're just the byproduct of those negative thoughts. And that will just self sabotage you getting live or doing any form of content creation. So you've got to harness that. You've got to get it back on track. You've got to say, look, if there's something I really want, I'm going to put in the work to be able to either let go of the conflict or the psychological mindset issue to do what I really, really want. So if you want to master the kind of creator mindset, you've got to master those fears. You got to realize they're real, but most people have them. But just because you have them, it doesn't mean you have to live with them. It's simply a behavior, simply limiting thoughts and limiting beliefs. But if you take action on those, you release the resistance, you release those fears and worries which are getting in your way. And that means you're more aligned to just going out there and going live or being a content creator.
you deserve that.
Thank you.
Definitely. That was pretty amazing. Yeah, it's really hard to master it, but if you don't master it, it's like you said, it will eat you up.
Yeah.
It will master you. So it's a go or no go situation.
Yeah.
Like you have to.
And we've got to realize as well. So if we take like most people who stop themselves from going and being a content creator, we can break it down to fear of what people think, fear of if we fail, fear if we get rejected, fear if we're not enough or capable. But if that is true, what is the intention behind fear? Is simply a protective mechanism, but in a very overwhelming, unwarranted and inappropriate way. So the fear is there for a good intention, but the behavior not so good. So that's a good foundation to start from, because we're saying, look, my body, my mind is trying to sabotage me because it feels like I might get rejected. It feels like I might not be enough, or I might just freeze on screen, all of those things. But if you realize it's just trying to protect you, all you've got to do is come up with a solution where you can still feel safe without the fear. So you can let go of the unwarranted fear. So realize those fears are natural and they're trying to keep you safe. We just got to be able to train up the mind to go, okay, there's another way of being safe, and get out there and get creating.
Wow. Yep, you have to. That is really good. That is amazing. Wow. Okay, let me see here. You already kind of explained this one. How does not having a creator mindset affect your overall strategy? So I guess unless you want to talk about it, because you just said exactly what I was going to ask you, but go ahead.
Well, by not having a creator mindset, then you're not creating, ultimately, right? So if you think of what a creator mindset is, it's going to be one of the foundations of getting out there. You need strategy, of course. You need the behaviors and the procedures that we do, the systems like be.live. But if you're not in that creation mode, you are. I mean, where's the passion? Where's the purpose? And sometimes people think they've got to be too creative, or they've got to go out there. You just got to be more passionate, more purposeful when it comes to doing what you enjoy. And when you do that, that's when the creativity comes. So I think that we all have it. If we don't have it, those fears are creeping in, or we're just not as passionate about what we really want to be doing. Tap into the passion, and then the creativity will come.
Wow, that's amazing. All right, so when it comes to finding that creative mindset, or how to, or mastering it, or what's your best advice to try and conquer that creative mindset?
Couple of things. First of all, take responsibility. Take responsibility for who you are and where you want to be heading. Like, no one's going to do this for you. So you can't just be an effect. You just can't allow other stuff and people to get in the way. Take responsibility for doing what you want. But then the second part, I feel like most people, where being a content creator in general, we get into this comparison conflict. We compare ourselves to Joseph or Dr. Elo or any other like full-time streamer or someone who does it very, very consistently. If you're comparing yourself to others who are ahead of you, you will always be held back. What you've got to do is compare yourself from where you were yesterday. Compare yourself to where you were a month ago. Compare yourself to a year ago. That means you're always going to improve. And just don't go for perfect, go for better. Okay? If you just go to be better 1% a day, it would take less than 100 days, because that compound interest is going to grow significantly. So don't aim for the perfect, just aim to get better at it, and compare yourself not to other people, but to yourself in the past, last week, last month. And that means you're guaranteed to always grow.
Wow, words of wisdom. Amazing. All right, so we have some people in the audience who has some comments, so we're gonna bring those comments here.
Fantastic.
So we got Kevin Michael Reed. All right, you do see what's in chat, and sometimes you respond without directly responding, though.
That's true. That is true. The way I position my camera, depending how I've moved recently, so I'm still kind of changing my setup and everything. But right now, I've got my stand-up desk and the camera here. Usually, it'll be to my side a little bit, and I'll be looking to the camera. I would see the comments, and then I pay attention to them, but I don't really pay attention to them. So I will pick up keywords. So like just last night, I heard someone say about the person was, what was the exact words? They were like, the fear consumed them. So all I saw was fear consume them. And therefore I went into a bit of a subject of how you don't need to allow fear to consume you. So
that's
I'm
brilliant.
aware of them, but I don't interact with the people, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Until
that
afterwards.
does make sense. Definitely. Andy says the same thing. We got divine greetings from Africa. That's amazing. Chat
Hey,
night
Devane.
Africa. We got Christina Grabnikas. Hey, Christina, how you been?
Hey, Christina.
We, we got one question. Please, how do you remove the ums out of a podcast that you make from a live stream?
This is not probably a good question for me because I've trained myself, not purposely, to not have ums. A lot of people say I don't really do ums or ors and things like that. So for me, it's just been practice. Sometimes I'll trip up on words because we're all human, but I don't really do any ums and ahs. So I kind of find it hard to answer that question since and I can promise you right now for my podcast, it has got a lot of views. Like I said, 10 million downloads. We're getting about 150,000 per month or so. I literally do no editing for my podcast. I just put the intro music in and the outro music, and that's pretty much it. I'm a very lazy editor. So even if you do have ums and ahs, realize that it's part of a natural speech. Like if I think sometimes because I don't do it enough, it may seem less normal. So realize that ums and ahs are actually a part of normal speech and it's okay to have them in there. Unless we're doing it all the time, then of course it's good to look into editing, looking at the spaces and the little short, which would probably be a or a ah. But other than that, I'm not probably that good at the advice on that one.
Well, there's a software you can use, Descript. You can take those ums out of there automatically. You go to descript.com, you can get the software. It does have a cost, but that one can help out with the just that I just said. So,
Awesome.
all right. So, you got a comment over here. This comment first. So, fear can put you in kick butt mode too.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes, it can. I mean, like, I would probably say the only reason I got into doing what I'm doing is because the fear of staying the same was worse. Like the fear of the prolonged fear of holding back on your dreams. For me, is the fear of not being worthy and not being good enough. I used to blush all the time. I used to be anxious, be having full of dread. And I didn't want to live that way. So it was more of I'm very thankful for my blushing and anxiety because it was the instigator to getting me to do what I wanted to do. So yeah, it's a fantastic from Christina because a lot of people can be paralyzed by it. But maybe if we change your frame of reference and go, actually, maybe it's pushing me, maybe it's a signal telling me I've got to pay attention to letting it go. Anxiety, worries, fears, they're just signals. So if we don't pay attention to them, they're going to get louder sometimes. So if we pay attention to them, resolve them, and then they won't need to be there anymore.
All right, amazing. So, what earbuds are you using? I'm using a Bose regular earbuds. I like this small earbuds. They're just regular. They're nothing special, but I had them at home and they fit pretty well and work perfectly for me. What do you have, Joseph?
Um, I actually don't know. I I don't know. I don't know the brand. Grim told me about them. I wanted the see-through ones. Like the clear ones. I had a version
Oh,
of the M5 or is it or M6 or
M6. It's the same. Yes.
M6. But I didn't like the sound quality. They were good for how they looked, but the
Yeah.
quality for me wasn't as good. It was kind of tinny. I don't know if I just had a dodgy pair or not. But these ones seem a lot better. But I might try to upgrade because I do
I have
prefer
them.
them to be a little bit more hidden.
Yeah, I have them at the M6s, and I don't use them because they drive me crazy.
Yeah.
I put them over the ear, so they bother me a little bit. So that's why I have this don't like hang. Man, but you can use whatever you want. Just don't use any wireless. That's basically it.
Yeah.
All right, great advice, Joseph. Go for
Thank you,
better
guys.
every day. Hello to Sylvia. We got Teconify, Andy. That is great advice. Build on what you have done previously, performance wise. Lazy editing for the win. All right. Okay. Thank you very much from Chris. And where can we learn more? So I have a scroll down here,
Nice.
josephclub.com. Then on youtube.com/Joseph Clough. I said it correctly.
Perfectly. Perfectly.
Facebook.com/Joseph fan page. And the podcast, wherever you listen to a podcast, go for Hypnosis with Joseph Clough, and you will find it. He's also a published author. What's the name of your book?
Be your potential.
Yeah, amazing. And yes, I did say don't use wireless earbuds. The only reason I don't use wireless and I don't recommend them is because, first of all, I go for longer live streams than this are, and for some reason, they might interfere with other Bluetooth devices around, and you might lose connection. Latency comes into play as well. So whatever you're listening real time, it's not really real time with the Bluetooth device. So I that's why I use cord plugged in earphones
It's
or
good because you just
headphones.
put them behind you as well, so you don't really
Yeah.
see them at all, other than here. But it could look like a wireless one right now.
Yeah. All right, Joseph, do you have anything else for us that you would like to say before we close the show?
Well, I could talk forever, but ultimately, if you really want to get into live streaming, it has never been easier than now. Like, be live can support you with it all. Like, it's such an easy software compared to when we started out.
Hmm.
You don't need, like you say, you don't need all the gear. You just need to show up and just build upon it. Just keep on going, take action on it. Realize that that fear and worry is just an illusion trying to hold you back, but you can let it go.
Yeah, and don't be scared. Be
Yeah.
yourself. People like it when you're yourself on camera. Don't try to pretend to be somebody else. If
Hmm.
you see somebody else, emulate. Don't imitate. So yeah, that's from me. But Joseph,
Perfect.
this has been really amazing, man. Thank
Well,
you
it's been
very
a
much for being here.
pleasure and an honor for having me on here. So thank you, my friend.
And don't forget to like and share this show on whatever platform you're viewing right now. Well, we have three platforms. We got, well, two platforms: Facebook pages, Facebook group, and we have it on YouTube channel as well. So, and make sure you go to Joseph's socials right here. You can also go to josephclough.com, and from there you can basically get all the information on his podcast and all his socials as well. So thank you very much for being here, guys. This has been an amazing, amazing podcast. I mean, live podcast. I can
Yeah,
tell,
there you
right?
go.
So thank you very much, Joseph. I
Thank you.
appreciate you, man, and I'm honored that you are here with me today. So
Well, thank you, sir.
thank you very much, everybody, and you'll have a blessed day.
Speak to you soon.